Most people have heard the advice countless times. Try clearing your cache. Whether it's a slow phone, a glitchy app, a broken website, or mysterious storage problems, clearing cache has become the universal tech cure-all. But what actually happens when you do it? Does your device get faster? Does important data disappear? And why does deleting something temporary suddenly fix problems that seemed impossible a few seconds earlier? Let's dive right into it, right here on History of Simple Things. To understand what clearing cache really does, you first need to know what cache is. In simple terms, cache is temporary stored data that helps devices and apps run faster. Your browser, apps, and even computer processors save frequently used information so they don't have to reload everything from scratch each time. Without cache, websites would load slower, apps would open less smoothly, and streaming would buffer far more often. Ironically, the very thing designed to speed devices up can eventually cause problems. Over time, cached files pile up, and some become outdated or corrupted, causing glitches like broken websites, loading issues, or crashing apps. Clearing cache forces the system to delete those old temporary files and rebuild fresh ones, which is why many problems suddenly disappear afterward. People often clear cache in web browsers like Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, or Safari. Websites store data such as images, scripts, and layouts to make future visits faster, so pages don't need to load from scratch each time. Over time, this data can become outdated or mismatched with updated website changes, causing issues like broken layouts or login errors. Clearing the cache removes old files and forces the site to reload fresh, updated data. Smartphones heavily use cache to improve speed and efficiency, with apps like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube storing temporary media so content loads instantly while scrolling. Over time, this can take up large amounts of storage, even if the app itself is small. Clearing an app's cache removes these temporary files, not your account, messages, or settings, so it's generally safe, though the app may briefly feel slower as it rebuilds its cache and reloads data. Many people confuse clearing cache with clearing data. Cache removes temporary files and is generally safe, while clearing data is more drastic and can reset an app, log you out, and delete local settings. Beyond devices, caching also powers the internet itself. Companies like Netflix, Google, and Cloudflare use global content delivery networks that store copies of data closer to users, reducing server load and making websites and videos load faster worldwide. Even streaming platforms depend heavily on caching. When millions of people watch the same popular show, servers don't repeatedly recreate identical data streams from scratch. Cached versions help distribute the content efficiently. Without large-scale caching systems, the modern internet would struggle under its own traffic load. Many people think clearing cache instantly speeds up devices, but cache is actually useful data stored as shortcuts for convenience. While clearing it can fix issues, doing it too often can slow things down since apps need to rebuild it. Modern systems like Android and iOS already manage cache automatically, so frequent use of cleaner apps usually offers little benefit and may even increase battery and data usage. However, there are situations where clearing cache genuinely helps. If an app keeps crashing after an update, if a website refuses to load correctly, if storage usage seems abnormally high, or if old information keeps appearing despite updates, cache corruption may be responsible. Temporary files can become corrupted after updates, bugs, or interrupted downloads. Clearing cache resets them, allowing the system to rebuild fresh data. There's also a privacy angle. Cached files can contain traces of browsing activity, saved images, and website resources. While cache is not the same as browsing history, it can still reveal information about sites visited or media viewed. Public computers often clear cache regularly to reduce leftover user data. Some privacy-conscious users also clear cache to minimize digital traces, although cookies and histories are usually bigger privacy concerns. Perhaps the most surprising thing about cache is how invisible it is. Billions of people interact with caching systems every single day without ever noticing. Every fast-loading web page, instantly opening app, or smooth streaming video depends on countless layers of temporary stored information working behind the scenes. It's one of the unsung foundations of modern computing. Clearing cache also became one of the most common tech fixes because cache data can sometimes become outdated or corrupted. Websites may load incorrectly if the browser keeps relying on old files, and apps can behave strangely when temporary data conflicts with newer versions. Clearing cache forces the system to discard those old shortcuts and rebuild them fresh. So what really happens when you clear cache? You're not cleaning your device in the dramatic way many people imagine. You're telling your system to discard temporary shortcuts and rebuild them fresh. Sometimes that fixes glitches instantly because the old shortcuts were broken. Sometimes it frees up storage. Sometimes it changes almost nothing at all. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.